Hi, this video is a part of Machine Learning from Scratch playlist. In this playlist, I explain different machine learning algorithms implemented from scratch using Python. You can download the relevant Python files from the link given in the description of each video. Note that I do not code along, rather I make use of pen for explaining the tricky parts of code so that you people can read the notebooks and Python files, understand them and implement them yourself. I'm expecting you people to be well versed with machine learning general understanding, and you just need little hints for implementation them from scratch. In this video, I'll explain development of logistic regression using maximum likelihood estimation using gradient descent. I hope that you know about logistic regression, which is similar to linear regression, where we have input features linearly combined with their associated weights, but in logistic regression we apply link function to the linear regression. The link function would be segmite function, which will output the value between 0 and 1. In this way we get the probabilities for positive and negative classes. Note that applying such link function to linear regression make up generalized linear models. Our goal here is to learn the weights using gradient descent, which basically works by taking derivative of the error function with respect to the weights of each feature. Now the derivative found will be used to update weights in each iteration. The difference from linear regression is that error function will not be mean square error, rather a likelihood function, which I'll show you. The explanation of likelihood function is easy enough and you can find in any good machine learning book. Note that we use log likelihood instead of likelihood function. Function of log is monotonic, so it won't affect the maximization of objective function. Now as error metric has changed, of course the derivative will also change from linear regression. The explanation of derivative is also straightforward and you can find it in any good book. Now why we call this gradient ascent and not gradient descent? Because our goal here is different than linear regression. In linear regression our goal was to minimize mean square error, but here our goal is to maximize likelihood estimation. So we want to move in the direction of gradients, not in opposite direction to the gradients. That's why it is called gradient ascent and not gradient descent. Now I think so it's simple enough. Let's jump into the notebook and I'll explain. So the first step is linear regression, where weights and features are linearly combined. The second part is when this linear regression prediction is given as an input to a sigmoid function, then we get logistic regression predictions. And the value of logistic regression prediction will be between 0 to 1, which will show the probability of positive class. Now, the log likelihood function is kind of tricky, kind of complicated, but you can find out a lot of articles, and in book the explanation is very easy, going from very bottom to the top, so you can follow along that. But it's basically positive class minus 1, and this is like linear regression part for a feature I, and then natural log 1 plus exponential minus, this is again linear regression part. Okay, so my part here is not to explain these mathematical things, how it came up, this is more of a theoretical part. My job here is to implement them, and I'll try my level best by the end to come up with a working logistic regression. Now the error here is basically a positive class minus the probability of positive class given by logistic regression, which is simply this value. So this thing and this thing is basically same. Okay, once we have that error, then the derivative of this likelihood function per feature is equal to this error value, positive class minus probability of positive class, multiplied by the ith feature. So this is very close to linear regression derivative function, but there the error function is different, and here in logistic regression the error function is different. Let's jump to the notebook and I'll explain there. Okay, so we start by importing Theory Create, which is a combination of scikit-learn and pandas. We are using a review dataset. So input is actually in the form of language like English, and the output is in the form of 1 or minus 1, positive sentiment or negative sentiment. So we don't have to work on that part because it's more of a data specific thing. We can start directly from this part where we have to just apply logistic regression, but let me go through all of this. Okay, so we have sentiments in the form of 1 or minus 1. This is sentence. We first of all look at the most important words stored in the JSON file. We remove the punctuations from each sentence. Then we count, where is the counting? Yes, here is the counting. So we count each word, the frequency of each word in each sentence. So this will be used as a feature. So at the end, once we convert this data frame into a NumPy array, we get this feature matrix. 53,000 are sentences and 194 are the words, which we will be calling as features, number of features, 194 features. Now each feature contains the value, which will be actually the frequency of that feature or the word in that sentence. That's not important, but still it might help you in future. Now let's come to the main part. This first sentence, this first line is basically a linear regression part. This second line is logistic regression part. This is a logistic function. Okay, so this will give us the predicted probability for positive class. Now as we know that given the error and the feature, the simple derivative will be equal to numpy errors comma features, and this was same as linear regression. The only difference is that error in logistic regression is different than linear regression. Now we'll compute the log likelihood function, and I have already explained it. This first part is indicator function, and this represents this part. And now the scores is actually this W transpose Xi and W transpose Xi here. Now log exponential is actually completely explained here. Now to check and prevent the overflow, sometimes what happens is the values are too large for a log function, so it becomes infinite. So just to check for the overflow, we mask it and we only take values which are less than infinity values, of course. So once we take that, we add minus to it, so that to encode this part, this whole part has been encoded in this minus scores mask. Now this is the complete function for computing log likelihood. Now this is the main function for logistic regression. Let's look at it. We have a feature matrix, we have output sentiment or output the actual output, we have initial coefficients or initial weights, we have step size or learning rate, we have number of iteration for which we want to run this algorithm. Now we initialize the weights or coefficients. So for number of maximum iterations, we first of all predict the output positive class probability. Then we look at the indicator, we choose all the positive class features. When we subtract the indicator from prediction, we get the error as explained. Then for each feature, we find the feature derivative. Instead of subtracting, we add it. For that reason, we call it gradient descent. We multiply the derivative with the step size, of course. And this part is just for printing. It seems difficult, but it has nothing to do with the logic. You can ignore it. Just to print it with a little gap. So after this line, we are computing the log likelihood function, and we are just printing the log likelihood function. Okay, at the end we return the coefficients, weights, as we did in linear regression. So the only main difference here is this error. In linear regression, the error was based upon mean squared error, but here the error is different than linear regression. Now we run it for 300 iterations. So we receive these coefficients, we predict sentiments using these coefficients, we predict the class predictions, and then we measure accuracy, which is simply like correctly classified data points by total data points. Then this is very optional kind of a thing where we want to find out which words contribute most to the positive sentiments and which words contribute most to the negative sentiments. And this is possible only by looking at the coefficients. If the coefficient is large enough for positive classes, so of course they will contribute most to the positive sentiments, and if the coefficients are very low, so it means it is contributing to the negative classes. So yes, I guess now it is very much clear.